Hi guys, my name is Kate and this is my story. I grew up in a very loving family. I'm close with both my parents and my brother, and I grew up in a very small church that is literally in the middle of a cornfield. I went to Sunday school pretty much weekly, and we always prayed before dinner and before bed, but Jesus was a name that was spoken on Sundays and before dinner and before bed, and he wasn't a part of my whole life at all. And as I grew up, I strived to win the approval of others. I wanted to impress people by building my reputation in school and sports and extracurricular activities. I had a lot of anxiety when it came to my grades in school and sports and other performances like musicals, and I so badly wanted to be the best in order to have others love me more or think more highly of me. I still remember the feeling of success and pride I got when my picture was on the front page of the sports section after a volleyball game my senior year. I was happy to make my parents and my coaches proud, and I was also glad that everyone who read the sports section would see how well I've done. I also remember being almost in tears because I got a B in social studies sophomore year of high school, and I just remember being so upset because I wasn't able to impress people with getting straight A's on my report card that semester. And when I went to college, I wasn't a three-sport athlete anymore. I wasn't in musicals. I wasn't in art club, National Honor Society, student council, band, or any of that. It wasn't a part of my life anymore. So I still wanted to impress people, so I got involved in hall council, and I put a lot of energy into school. I didn't want my self-image to fall because I wasn't involved in all that stuff. I was involved in high school. And I didn't have a lot of deep personal, strong friendships my first semester in college because I spent so much time in my dorm room perfecting papers and studying and almost having anxiety attacks when it came to classes. Over winter break, a high school friend of mine was telling me about Cru at UWSP and all the cool people she met there and how much fun it was. So when I got back to campus at UWL second semester, I wanted to check it out. And I had some people in my dorm who'd been asking me to go, and let's face it, I was a people pleaser, so I wanted to please them by telling them I would go with them after they asked me so many times. And I went and I saw how much the students there loved Jesus. And they weren't really focused on pleasing other people. They were focused on God, and they had joy. And I was a little intimidated at first, but I was intrigued. And over the next few weeks, I was reminded of the things I've learned in Sunday school about how Jesus loved me, and he died on the cross for my sins to pay my penalty for me that I earned with my sin. And I started to wonder why, if I believed that Jesus died on the cross for my sins so I could spend eternity with him in heaven, then why wasn't I loving him in return? Why wasn't I accepting that gift that he gave me in eternal life and salvation from my sins? And then one night I just went back to my dorm room and I told Jesus that I loved him and I needed him to take over my life. And he did. And now I don't struggle as much with anxiety before I take tests. I don't feel like I have to excel at everything I do in order to be accepted by others. And I still have struggles. I still like being liked. But Galatians 1:10 is a constant reminder for me. And that says, am I now seeking the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I'm still trying to please people, I'm not a servant of Christ. I want to be a servant of Christ in my life. I don't want to do that just because I feel like I'm supposed to or because others want me to, but because living my life for the one who died on the cross for my sins, for me, because he loved me, that brings me joy. And through him, I've found my purpose in life. Through him, I have a permanent stamp of approval. And I so badly want you all to experience that same thing. And thank you so much for listening to my story.